story always begins with hope, because hope is the softest door a human heart has. Once opened, anything can walk inside. Crypto arrived like a whisper in a tired world, promising fairness where banks felt greedy, freedom where systems felt heavy, and opportunity where life felt stuck. People didn't fall into crypto because they were reckless. They arrived because they were curious, ambitious, and tired of being left behind. They wanted a future where effort mattered again, where ordinary people could win, where money was no longer controlled by invisible institutions. At first, it felt magical. A new language of money. A new world of possibility. A screen that showed value rising, fast and beautifully, like watching seeds grow into forests overnight. And in that moment, belief became stronger than doubt. Early winners became legends. Stories spread faster than facts. Screenshots of tiny investments turning into fortunes traveled through social media like modern myths. And quietly, a dangerous thought settled into millions of minds: maybe this is the last chance. Not a chance to gamble. A chance to escape. Escape debt. Escape low wages. Escape the fear of never having enough. Crypto didn't just offer coins, it offered emotional rescue. And where emotions lead, reason often follows behind, trying to catch up. The market grew louder. Projects multiplied. Coins with strange names. Websites with glowing roadmaps. White papers filled with complex words. Telegram groups filled with excitement. Influencers filled with certainty. And people, ordinary people, stepped in. They bought small amounts first. Just to test. Just to see. Just to learn. And then they watched the numbers rise. They watched green charts. They watched their money appear to grow without effort. And the brain, loving comfort, whispered, "This is real." Small wins disarmed caution. Early profits silenced skepticism. And the human mind, wired to seek patterns, concluded that success had finally arrived. People told friends. Friends told families. Families told coworkers. And suddenly, trust spread not because the system was proven, but because someone we loved believed in it. This is the first trap. Trust borrowed from relationships. Trust carried not by evidence, but by emotional bonds. Then came the new projects. New coins. New opportunities. New presales. New early access groups. New countdown timers. New urgency. New excitement. And with every new launch, the fear of missing out tightened its grip. People did not want to be late again. They had heard stories of those who bought Bitcoin early. They had seen videos of teenagers becoming millionaires. They had watched influencers say, "This will never happen again," and so they bought, quickly. Without deep study. Without understanding. Because urgency kills reflection. Some projects were real. Some were illusions. And most lived in the gray zone where truth and deception blend so perfectly that even experts struggle to separate them. Then came the rug pulls. Projects that looked alive one day and dead the next. Websites vanished. Twitter accounts disappeared. Telegram chats closed. Tokens collapsed to zero. And savings turned into digital dust. Victims stared at screens that once showed hope, now showing nothing. No warning. No apology. No explanation. Just silence. But the deepest damage was not financial. It was internal. The quiet voice that said, "How did I not see this coming?" The shame of telling no one. The weight of self-blame. The feeling of being foolish in a world that seemed to reward cleverness. Yet this was only one trap. Another trap waited in leverage. Platforms that offered to multiply your power. 10 times. 20 times. 100 times. Borrowed money disguised as opportunity. A chance to win faster. A chance to escape quicker. A chance to feel in control. But leverage is a blade. And in volatile markets, it cuts without mercy. One sudden dip. One unexpected move. One flash crash. And the account is liquidated. Years of savings erased by automated math in seconds. No negotiation. No reversal. Just a message, your balance is zero. Victims refresh screens, hoping for an error. Hoping for a glitch. Hoping for mercy. But the system did exactly what it was designed to do. And the victim blamed themselves. Not the design. Another trap hid inside staking and yield platforms. Beautiful dashboards promising daily income. Passive rewards. Money that grows while you sleep. A dream for those exhausted by working harder every year with little progress. Early payouts worked. Withdrawals succeeded. Trust deepened. People reinvested everything. Friends joined. Families joined. Communities grew. And then deposits slowed. Rewards shrank. Withdrawals delayed. And finally, collapse. Victims didn't call it a scam. They called it bad luck. Market conditions. Temporary setbacks. They defended the system that consumed them, because identity was now attached to belief. Some exchanges, too, became traps. Companies that promised safety, security, professionalism. Platforms that looked like banks, acted like banks, and held billions in user funds. Until one day withdrawals froze. Rumors spread. Panic erupted. And the truth surfaced, the money was gone. Not stolen by hackers. Not destroyed by markets. But misused behind closed doors. Lent, gambled, hidden, lost. A modern version of the oldest financial betrayal in history. And again, victims blamed themselves. For trusting. For believing. For hoping. Influencers played their role. Smiling faces. Confident voices. Luxury lifestyles. Not financial advice, they said, moments before giving advice. Paid in tokens. Paid in excitement. Paid in attention. And when collapse came, they moved on to the next project, the next trend, the next wave. Some influencers knew they were promoting broken systems. Some didn't. But belief doesn't care about intent. Damage is damage. The most painful truth is this: many victims of crypto traps were not greedy. They were desperate. They were tired. They were trying to build something better for their families. They were trying to escape stagnation. They were trying to survive in a world that felt unfair. Crypto didn't just offer wealth. It offered dignity. And losing it took more than money. It took confidence. People stopped trusting themselves. Stopped trusting opportunity. Stopped trusting their own judgment. And that psychological scar lasts far longer than any financial loss. So why do crypto traps work so well? Because they live at the intersection of complexity, speed, and emotion. Most people cannot read code. Most people cannot audit smart contracts. Most people cannot evaluate tokenomics. They rely on narratives. On social proof. On voices they trust. And scammers understand this better than most technologists. They build not just products, but stories. Stories that feel empowering. Stories that feel revolutionary. Stories that feel like destiny. And once someone believes destiny is involved, logic becomes optional. The future will deepen this: AI-generated founders, AI-generated video interviews, AI-generated white papers, AI-generated communities. Entire ecosystems built by machines to persuade humans. The next generation of crypto traps will feel more legitimate than legitimate projects. Which means the solution is not fear. Not hatred of technology. Not rejection of innovation. But awareness. Real innovation survives silence. Scams need constant excitement. Real businesses explain risk. Scams hide it. Real teams welcome skepticism. Scams punish doubt. Real growth is uneven. Fake growth is smooth and perfect. And there is one rule that never fails. If a project needs urgency, it is hiding weakness. If it needs blind faith, it is hiding emptiness. If it needs shame to silence doubt, it is already a trap. Crypto itself is not evil. Code is neutral. Blockchain is neutral. But human incentives are ancient. And greed wears new costumes in every era. The greatest illusion of the crypto age is not wealth. It is control. The feeling that technology removes risk. That complexity removes danger. That decentralization removes dishonesty. But technology does not change human nature. It only gives it new tools. And this is why fortunes vanished. Not because people were stupid, but because systems were built to exploit hope. This has been Scam Decoder. Stay slow. Stay aware. Stay grounded. Because in a world where money moves instantly, wisdom must move even faster. Thanks for watching.